greetings again to Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you and the world. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Let's talk MFAT counseling. It's Michelle Thompson, social worker, spiritual coach, spiritual guide. Here with me today again for part 2 is Buffy Campbell, my yoga teacher, and now my friend. So we're talking about everything Jamaica, really. In the last episode, we were talking about yoga and spirituality and just knowing the Lord and trusting the Lord. And maybe now we could talk a little bit about Jamaica and just what's happening. Women of Jamaica, and just how things have progressed, because I haven't been here for over 4 years to live. Right, I left here when I was a child. I documented this in my book, A Way to Escape. You can see my journey, why I own the book, why I ended up going to Canada with my mom. And it was a woman's issue again, because my dad was an alcoholic and was abusive, and my mom had to take the 4 kids over to her mom, another strong woman, and we stayed there for a while until my mom ended up migrating to Canada, leaving the 4 kids with my grandmother. So it's our journey coming from a house of our own, when my mom had to leave my dad, and then going back home to my grandmother, who was in a 1-room tenement yard. So the shock as children, we're getting up there, but then we're down again. And the shock, living with a dad who was alcoholic and had different issues, and you take that out of my mom. And if you never had that experience living with an alcoholic person, then kudos to you. But it's traumatic, to say it's traumatic. It's traumatic. So just wanted to talk a little bit now about women. I remember for the last few years, it's been in the news a lot where men are not only abusing women, and I'm glad my dad would hit my mom. He really did love my mom. I must say, yeah, but when you don't know how to show love and you mix that in with alcohol, you know that. You get a bad combination, to say the least. Yeah. So he didn't kill my mom. That's the point I wanted to say. But now, a lot in the news.
There's so much abuse.
And men are killing the women.
Yeah.
And some of them end up killing themselves. Right? So I just wanted to
we're coming from an era where the woman, or the place for the woman, was at home, in the kitchen, in the bedroom,
barefoot and
pregnant, raising children, and that was it.
Yeah.
They were to be, even coming from the days of the Bible, you will remember that women had no place in the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember when Jesus saw the woman at the well, it was wondered how he was speaking to her.
That's right. Exactly. So Jesus wasn't anyone. She had all these husbands and stuff.
So we come from that era, and fast forward into the 2000s now, where women are boss in the bedroom, boss in the boardroom, boss in the kitchen, and men just can't handle it.
That's true.
Some men find it intimidating. A lot of men tell me all the time that they think I'm intimidating.
Yoga teacher so soft and gentle.
Yeah, but I tend to, at one point I used to be offended. And then I realized that those men did not or could not appreciate the fact that I was independent, that I didn't need them for anything but love and attention, and I just to be an equal.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I come from.
Exactly.
Because we know who can provide us, so we don't have to go pick up the little.
Exactly. And if you can find and relate to somebody on that level, instead of saying, hey, I'm here, or you are there and I'm here and you need to look up to me. We're not in that stage anymore. And I think that is where some women have found themselves trapped. So they tend to find either they are either in a dependent state where they don't feel, women. I'm adopted. I don't know my parents. I could have had a different outcome. Yes, and I love to say that your attitude
towards your life
doesn't necessarily have to do with where you're coming from. You understand? It's your attitude, it's where you want to get to, it's where you want to go to. And we all
no poor me, only no poor me.
Sometimes you're gonna go there,
Yes.
Don't live there.
That's right.
You understand?
That
and
is
it's
so
how you come back to who you are and going inward. In other words, in order to bloom outward. So that you're able to now realize that, hey, we're in this together, this union, whatever that union is, and you are in a union, and the union is to build.
So you're saying that back in the day, when women had to succumb to men because they had to be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen and just cow down.
Exactly.
Because things have changed, women are educated now. Because I think the universities have more women graduating now. So women are out there, we're not putting down the men, but we want the men to walk equally beside us. Sometimes we can't find that man to walk equally beside us. And, we want a partner.
Yeah, but sometimes if he's willing, he can grow with you.
So it's the one them now, when they grow with you,
yes,
where we want,
exactly,
slap you up,
or they think that, hey, you need to cower down and just stay down, that's up, kind of thing, And
you're talking about, hey, sure, you think you have a wife?
Oh, exactly, and then, and it comes back too, and I don't mean to, but I have girls, you have a daughter. I don't mean to bash the women who are mothers of boys.
Because they have it hard.
But I firmly believe that we had it wrong. Remember when we used to say, oh, you have a girl, you have to watch her. And you have to make sure.
And run around out there, no responsibility. And we keep the girls at home because they're going to be a homemaker. Right?
I think we got it wrong.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so I find that, I have some great friends who have boys and they're doing an awesome job. And it gives me hope for my girls, because I'll say,
going on
yes. And then sometimes I say, oh, Jesus, I don't know what kind of husband they're going to get.
Yes.
Because now they're walking with the pants down the bottom.
Yes.
Them handmade and he was happy with the silent and said,
I know.
Lord,
I know who is in control at the end of the day.
Lord,
Satan might think he's going around seeking who we can devour, but we know who's still in charge.
Women need to understand themselves and know who they are in order to empower themselves. Not to be bullied over men.
No, never. Because it's the Lord, the kingdom, the Lord, the man, the woman, and the family. When you're a woman, you find a good godly man. Oh God, that's such a blessing. A leader. Who knows that with a leader you need a commander, a partner. You're not saying man over here, no. That man, also needs a partner that you can go through life
I
with.
say it all the time, I say, whoever God sent in for me, you have to make sure that He tell me. If
Yes.
God won't tell me who that man is,
Yes.
He cannot come from
God must set it.
And
God
God
go
goes
through
through
God.
God.
Okay.
You have to go through God. Okay, come.
Can you imagine having a man who knows who grab your hand and say, let's pray, baby, let's pray.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
pray
let's
about
pray
this.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. I want somebody
And it
else.
happens today, it happens in some lives, and that is a good thing. That is the thing that gives me hope.
Yes.
That at some point in time, your daughters are celebrating because I'm saying that right? But just to know that God is the ultimate provider, He's the ultimate husband, He's the ultimate spouse. I mean, look at Joseph. Joseph is like another great example. The man that would have said, it get born. And it get jacked.
No, yeah, and then jacked. When it's woman, with this belly, as you would say. So she pregnant and
yeah. But he listened to the voice of the angel. He obeyed. And a lot of times we need to.
because of your good stepfather, he's showing you that
Yeah,
they don't have
that
to
father's
because
out there.
yeah.
Yep. And so as women, we need to be more self-assured and understand ourselves. And understanding self means that you have value sense. And also the time is well done in the value, with the values. You know what I mean?
And coming back to Jamaica, what I've seen and even what I've known from before, that and I'm shocked to see it still kind of happening. Where back in the day, before I left 40 years ago, women would depend on man and a man for money, for things, for stuff like that. And even in my world, they still want to get a man to get. And I'm not saying, you're the first one to say, if you have a boyfriend or whatever, you can't get hair money, you can't get some nails money, nothing wrong with that. You can go to dinner with him and you treat, nothing wrong with that, but to actually say, depend on the man them to give me, that's a lot of pressure to on a man. Especially if he's not your right of God. Because I find that I find that women will have two and three
trying to ease you out of as much as they can. But at the end of the day, you have to come back to your values. Come back to the values. I always say integrity is doing the right thing when
nobody's watching.
It's one of my core values that I live from.
Yes.
Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Because at the end of the day, you have something called your conscience. At the end of the day, you and God alone will stand up and set people again to decide and look into that great book to know what was done and what was said and how did you treat others.
But even now, we still have the Holy Spirit within us. When we're doing anything that we shouldn't be doing, that pricks at us. The conscience.
Yep.
And if we have a conscience, we know how to come back to who we should be. Who we are.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
exactly. Once you align yourself with that, then you find that you can live more at peace. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is about, living at peace with self, living at peace with others, and living at peace with God.
I must tell you that coming back, I've seen, more and more women naturally. In the banks. Certain places you go back 40 years ago, you never find everybody here are to be straight.
Yes.
You look lighter or try to be what they're not.
Yeah.
Now I go in the back and I see the braids, I see the dreads, and I see the woman standing tall. And I know that can do something for our self-esteem. We can be like, hey, You can't talk to me, you know,
Yes.
because I am income, I'm working my own money. So we too can be the cause of why, not to say at any time that a man has any reason to flare up and pitch or whatever, but sometimes as women, we have to realize that we have to help our men. From ever since, from my father days when I'm telling you that he would drink, there was something happening with the men. Yes, self-esteem, whatever.
And when you see that happens, it's a cry for help, you know. It's a cry for help. A lot of the times we tend to want to bash and, you know, what you want this, you know, whatever. Especially if you're already in the relationship. I'm not saying to stay in there, but get help.
Yes.
Get help. When you hear somebody killing somebody, pray for the soul of the person who's dead. The person who is alive needs help.
Yes, went through a lot.
Cry for help. Yes, they need to pay the consequences, but in addition to that, there must be some form of help for that person. When you listen to the other day, somebody's child killed the husband and then that's a crime for help.
Yeah, even in the schools with
When
the
they're stabbing, the children are stabbing. You go
that's
to
a
a
crime.
bird's
Angry. I just thought about anger.
Yes, it's anger. When you see how the children are relating to each other, how they're, you know, it is a deep cry for help, and our nation. I was saying every now and again, you hear me say it sometimes. I said, Lord Jesus, I'm glad I soon dead, because them young people, we don't know why in the world out there.
But we are here to guide them, right?
We're here to guide them. And the more of us that are here to guide them, like I will never pass somewhere and see children arguing and just walk past.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
I will always stop and say, hey, what's up? Take one aside, you take the other one and listen to them. Somebody shared a picture on Facebook the other day and it was such a great inspiration to me. And I want to throw it out as a challenge to any other administrator. They have this chair. I'm trying to remember which high school it was, but this is a high school, and they have a chair along the corridor near the principal's office, and it has a sign that says, please sit here if you want to talk.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Please sit here if you want to talk.
I will let children use it.
Yeah, they do.
Great.
They do.
Great. Great.
And just that alone gives me hope. When I saw that, that gave me so much hope.
Wow.
Because it tells me
The
that
administrative body is willing to accommodate somebody wanting to talk.
Yeah.
And here are the kids who are willing to go up and say, you know what, hey, I have something to say. Because, again,
what I'm going through is just too much. Yeah. And when you